And what a beautiful life, a beautiful tribute to a beautiful life. I want to turn now and bring in my colleague, Rebecca Schramm. And Rebecca, I know that you have spent the morning at Emory University at Glen Memorial United Methodist Church there as we anticipate dignitaries, former presidents, former first ladies, to come and honor the life of the late former First Lady Rosalynn Carter. What can you share with us?
Well, I tell you what, Joy, there's a lot of activity already here at Glen Memorial United Methodist Church. I want to give you a little bit of a look at what we're seeing. We're seeing, of course, a large media presence here outside across the street, across North Decatur. And if you're able to look in the background there, you might be able to see some of the attendees of the service. We would imagine that they have to get there pretty early and get situated, because if it's anything like what we're seeing here on the media side, there will be Secret Service sweeps of the church and the entire area, which is certainly the protocol when a sitting president comes to town. And of course, we are expecting President Joe Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, and a host of other dignitaries. And as you continue to look at the church, I want to kind of give you a rundown of what we expect to happen at the service today. Of course, it begins at 1 o'clock. We've got a number of her favorite scripture passages that we're expecting to hear, along with her favorite songs. Her surviving grandchildren will serve as honorary pallbearers. Members of the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra will provide gathering music, including some of Mrs. Carter's most beloved tunes. Also, pianist David Osborne, a long favorite of Mrs. Carter and her husband, will play a medley of hymns as a prelude to the service. Also, musical performances by the ASO Chamber Chorus. And listen to this, family friends Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood will perform, so that ought to be very interesting to hear. We also expect the Reverend Mark Westmoreland, pastor of Glen Memorial, will give the call to worship and invocation, and then following that will be opening remarks by the Carter's personal pastor, Tony Loudon is his name. Then we'll hear from Chip Carter, who's going to welcome the attendees. Daughter Amy Carter will present a reading. One grandson and 3 of Mrs. Carter's great-grandchildren will read scripture passages, and there are going to be tributes delivered by longtime aide and friend Catherine Cade, journalist Judy Woodruff, and grandson Jason Carter. So it should be quite a memorable tribute service to Mrs. Carter here. And you may have touched on some of these, Joy, but wanted to sort of give you another rundown of the special guests. As I mentioned, Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. Former President Bill Clinton will be here, along with his wife, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Also, Vice President Kamala Harris will be here, along with Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. We've got former First Ladies Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, Melania Trump will be here. Of course, Governor Brian Kemp will be in attendance, along with his wife, First Lady Marty Kemp of Georgia, and also Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens will be here with his daughter, Bailey. Just a beautiful tribute. We're watching as some of the journalists now are being looked at. They're getting the once-over from the Secret Service and, of course, the K-9 units here at the scene. But it's a somber occasion, of course, but 96 years is such a life well lived. And so this will be more of a celebration of her life and the accomplishments, while she and her husband were in the White House and beyond. So we'll be listening in, and we'll, of course, bring all of it to you throughout the day. Joy.